Hey Saber fam, for your viewing pleasure, I have an Ultimate Works Skinny Flex. NeoPixel Proffie. Nice accent swings. Localized lockup. Poor Dooku. Poor Dooku. Done caught it. Of course you have to have this. Don't you just love it?
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You underestimate my power.
I love that one. I love how that one turned out.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire? Client wanted a purple, so there you go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Such a freaking beautiful saber. Really is. There's a few other blade styles and fonts on there too, but I think I've shown you enough. And we have the blade.
Yes, master.
Rise.
Our NeoPixel blade plug. It's gonna be hard to see. This doesn't get a whole lot of shine through. It's even harder to see in video.
I don't like sand.
Oh. Where to start? Just where to start? Let's start there. She's skinny. I got long fingers. I will admit that. She's skinny. Even the grips. Not bad. Not bad at all. I watched Shamim's video comparing this, the Korbanth, and the Master Replica, and just wow. Just wow. And, you know, whenever I was seeing this, and I finally unlocked this in Vader Immortal, I was like, oh man, it's so accurate, you know, in the game. Oh dude, look at it, it's so, and it is very accurate in the game. It's the most accurate of all the hilts on there, in my opinion. The Qui-Gon's close too, but that's not what this is about. This is about this shiny, sexy beast. Total fingerprint magnet in a major way. The only part that isn't really chrome is the clamp, which is good. It's very nice. It's comfortable. You know, you'd think it'd be super spiky. You know, yeah, it's spiky, but it's not painfully spiky. The chassis used for this was a Sorok Sabres chassis. You have your proffie board right there. Nice clean install. Got your recharge port with his logos on the side. I'm going to flip this around. Make sure it's off. 28mm Sabre Essential speaker. I actually ended up printing a ring on this. That way it wouldn't rattle against this. And if you put it together just right, you get a nice flush pommel. It is a perfect fit. Like that's not a lot of room to work with right there, to be quite honest. For an 18650 battery, the board, the speaker, the recharge, that's not a lot of room to work with. So he pulled it off. I'll probably end up sharing that little speaker spacer with him as well, because it's even a press fit. It works great. But back to the Sabre. So yeah, this is sporting an 18650 15 amp high drain battery. This Sabre is absolutely stunning. I love this Sabre, and the reason I made the blade plug so tall, the original blade plug was like 1.5 inches. I think it would have been low enough to hit this set screw, but I looked on the Lightsaber Bible, guide, whatever you want to call it, and I looked down on the ROTS, and all the way down there, shown it sitting on the shores of Mustafar, just like that, with the blade plug sticking out. It's like, okay, I'm going for accuracy. It only makes sense. And plus, it's a tight fit. The 7/8 inch blade I have for this, I sanded the holy hell out of that and the blade plug just to get it to fit. And it's still very tight. Like, let me show you how tight this is. One of the situations where I wish I had a belt sander. So, I mean, yeah, this is glued on solidly to this blade stock, but he said that's your blade depth. It's like 3 inches. Like, I can't even show you. No, it's that deep. You'll never be able to see it. It's wild, ain't it? Would have been a lot easier with one of Dimitri Stock's NeoPixel lit PCBs, but worked with what I got, so that works. Improvisation at its best. This Sabre has the potential for 4 freaking switches. If you watch Shamim's video, he covers that it can have 4 switches. Yes, it can. 2 of which are great. The other 2, I don't know. You can use this front button as a switch. It has another PCB for that. It is not spring loaded up here, not like this one. You can hear the feedback. Excellent feedback. Perfect. A little bit of double-sided tape on the PCB. Slap it there. You're done. Fantastic. This, on the other hand, it unscrews and it has a little divot out. So, I mean, it makes me think that there's supposed to be a spring there. And you twist it on, then you can press it. But it's actually threaded. Whereas this is an actual plunger. The knurling is threaded around it, but this is not. It's just a plunger going deep inside, whereas this whole thing is threaded, this whole gold button. The auxiliaries in the clamp card, great feedback, works great as you've seen earlier. It's also another switch. You can use this as a switch. The issue I found with it though, it's not very dependable. The only way I was able to get it to work is by pressing down on the clamp card switch and then moving it up. That's the only way I could get it to activate. It's essentially 2 switches on a PCB. You have a front mounting brass tactile switch, and on the bottom you have a very awkwardly sized, it may have been like a 2x3 or 2x4 millimeter switch. It's mounted horizontally, and there's actually a screw that connects this into place with the rest of it. And that little bitty screw, it's a fairly big screw, but it's a dome top. It doesn't really activate too well on it. Unless there's a good way to like 3D print some type of better way of doing it, I went with this for longevity reasons. These 2, flawlessly 100% of the time. No worries, I'm not trying to pull nothing crazy out of my butt. So I was like, you know what, do it, get it done, on to the next commission, people are waiting, you know. I'm not a big fan of the grip spacer that was included with it. I did not apply these grips, but the guy that did an excellent job. As you heard, the sound venting on this is great. This is being ran at 75%, which is recommended for Sabre Essential speakers. Sounds fantastic. I love it. The only way it could have been better is if it was a TCS WOW speaker. And those are all the rave right now. But they do have issues. I'm hoping those issues get worked out. A lot of people have, you know, a little wire on the inside busting, stuff like that. No bueno. But yeah, this is a fantastic Sabre. The guy getting it is very lucky. If I ever bought one of these, I'd have to get it empty because there's no way I could do the Asteria soundboard. No offense to Ultimate Works, don't like it. Don't like it at all. My big turnoff with the Asteria soundboard, what is it? You press and hold activation or auxiliary or something like that. Press it, let go, boot. What the hell? Color switch. Just sounds terrible. I know you can change all that stuff out, but it still seems so subpar. But you know, you get what you pay for. You're talking about a $400 installed Sabre. It's pretty hard to beat, especially Ultimate Works quality. Ultimate Works got some good quality. I mean, seriously? Really? This is fantastic. I know there's some inaccuracies with it that you can't get away from, like the neck on the blade holder. Can't get away from that, period. What else was it that Shamim said? I think spacing on the gold button may have been a little off on is either this one or the core band. I think it was this one, it was a little off. What else did he bring up? A couple really small things, you know. So I mean, they did really good with this. Anyways, I think I've covered everything. I'm gonna get this charged up, probably shipped out to the client here soon, and we'll be on to my next install. Till the next time, may the force be with you always.